we are. What's going on, guys? I am the host of this show called The Film Room, and they call me A-Bomb, the Sauce God. You can follow me on Twitter at A-Bomb Sauce God. I'm joined here with, of course, one of my best friends and co-host, Mr. Sam Bone at Slam and Sammy 55. Also, the director of Sammy Sports Cards on Facebook, as well as on YouTube at GameBook Mafia, and on Twitter at GameBook. Sam's had some incredible breaks. He told me tonight, by the way. Of course, somehow we missed it because we had already been pulling so much heat between the two autograph cards, all the numbered cards. And then, Sam spotted the Genesis for the Obi-Toppin or whatever it is. And
Obi-Toppin.
That's kind of when it's like, I think it clicked in you, Sam. Like, you know what? Hold on. I saw a card that maybe was, and it turns out he was correct. There was a second Mosaic Genesis, and that was for Jason Tatum, National Pride. Beautiful card, and thank you again to Sammy. I mean, dude, you said it. I was balling. I mean, that fucking shocked me, bro. Like, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Here's the thing that comes to this. When I was sorting the cards today and sleeving them for everybody and getting them all packaged up, I looked at it and I was just looking at the card. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah,
like that's another one. And I had to really look at it. I'm like Ashton. I had to call Ashton into the room. I'm like, please look at this. Like, this is a Genesis, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, he hit two in one night.
The odds of that, Sam, out of
nine of these people, which there are 5 left, by the way, he bought 2, and he hit 2 Genesis. Who knows what's in the rest of these? That's crazy.
I mean, the odds of pulling 2 Genesis cards are like in that amount of packs is insane.
And you know what else you did? Hold on, though. That's not the only thing you did. You also pulled out of the Mosaic Blaster. You pulled a Legend autograph.
Yes, I did. That's what I'm saying. Terry Porter.
It's just nuts.
And that's the kind of heat that, of course, comes live on Sammy Sports Cards on Facebook and YouTube. And we do have breaks coming out this Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Oh,
Eastern
yeah.
Time. He's got more product already coming in. We talked a little bit, too. We're going to have more football product, too. This is right now. Sam had explosive deals that he made in order to obtain some absolutely fire NBA and MLB product, and product that a lot of people have requested. So we've been having success with the breaks, but just know that there is a variety at Sammy Sports Cards for not even just sports, but he also does have Pokemon trading cards. He posts cards of the day all the time. Make sure to turn those notifications on for us on Facebook and on Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube so you get notifications whenever we go live or we post videos. So, Sam, we've been kind of in the transition of doing, podcasting, having the live shows being dedicated to breaks, and having live shows dedicated to, of course, pregame coverage to stuff still as well. But the podcast is kind of not just sports talk, but a little bit about everything. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you a question I asked everybody on Twitter, and everybody's kind of getting in on this. Let me start with this. What's your favorite non-beer or non-wine, so a mixed cocktail? What's your favorite drink?
Oh, no doubt about it. Ciroc, anything Ciroc and Red Bull. I am a true Floridian boy now. I like to just go boom, boom, boom when I'm drinking.
You like the fucking blast off, huh?
Oh, I like the blast off. I'm Buzz Lightyear. I am Buzz Lightyear when he is taking Woody to the moving truck. Okay, I'm talking. We are literally going to infinity and beyond when we're having fun.
Way
okay?
beyond.
I think it's safe to say that the Red Bull isn't even that much of an importancy. The thing is that when I get a little sugar in me, and I start getting that Ciroc flowing, ooh, and it's sweet, baby. I think that we can all say that Sam starts to get a little fired up.
And the thing is, too, is I'm not a vodka drinker, and with the exception of Ciroc, Sam knows I can put down some peach Ciroc. But what a hell of a combination there. You know what I mean? So I can see that. Because it's so tasty and it does blast you off, and they go down so smooth. I mean, I've done the Red Bull. I've done Red Bull Grey Goose too. I mean, that's incredible. But I don't do the Tito's shit. But okay,
what's your
now
favorite?
Let me tell you, I have a couple of different favorite drinks. You know me, I like to drink the Scotch on the rocks. We're not talking that. I like a Crown and Coke. Well, actually, I like Crown and Club Soda with a splash of Coca-Cola. A little splash to give you that taste of it, but not so sugary. You know what I mean? You just get the
That's my
carbonation
second
soda, and you taste more of the whiskey. But I have a signature drink as well. It's called the Golden Cadillac, and it's a shot of Disaronno Amaretto and about a shot and a half of Crown Royal whiskey and some orange juice to fill it. Nice on the rocks. Stir it up. It is so tasty. It's like fucking drinking breakfast. But I mean, you can ask any of the people that drank them at Louis and Attica. It's fucking insane. Like I've shared that drink with people there, having a good time, or whatever. And like it's great. You know, you got two different liquors in there, but they blend together the amaretto. And amaretto is kind of a sweeter liquor, and it's Italian thing. But,
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I learned about that the drink somewhere. I think it's a Columbus Club in Dunkirk, New York. Shout out to Dunkirk, Western New York. Shout out to everybody in Western New York, of course. Bills Mafia on Twitter. Make sure to follow me. Follow my buddy Sammy here if you're not already doing so. And follow the main page of GameBook. So, Sam, okay, now we asked you what's your favorite alcoholic beverage. Now, what are your go-to for shots?
Oh, you got something squeaking in the background? You got a little ducky back there?
Chair. That's my chair squeaking. I'm kind of getting a little antsy. You hear the SpongeBob boots?
Watch this, Mr. Krabs. And this.
Sitting still, Sammy.
If I'm gonna do a shot, depending on what we're getting into, if we're starting off the night, something easy, not nothing that's gonna burn. Maybe just something simple like a fireball shot.
You and I ever been nice and simple to start off? Come on.
What if we've never started off with shots though? We've never started. But the thing is, we never started off with shots. Usually, it was like with beers or like with like mixed drinks. But if we're going Stone Cold Steve Austin balls to the wall, we're doing shots of either Patron,
yes,
because that gets the fire started. That gets the fire started.
Hearing that.
Either Patron or some Jim Beam honey. I like that Jim Beam Tennessee honey. That's pretty good to do shots of.
Jim Beam's got to burn too. It's got to burn. So I mean, if you want a little bit of that,
the honey though, the Tennessee honey, the Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey, not Jim Beam. Sorry, Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey. By the way,
Jack honey. Okay, but
that's good.
Jack honey. Let me also say this: Jack honey with Coca-Cola and lime is so delicious. Oh my fucking!
But we're talking strictly shots right now. We're talking strictly shots.
Oh, I just wanted to put that as a sidebar. Okay, we're talking shots. Right. Okay, so you also got
shot.
Is there another one you've got?
Well, yeah. If we're not doing Patron, then the other shot that I'd say would be like, my go-to would be the Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey. Okay. I think those are the two. How about you? Well, Patron's got to be on the list.
I'm going Patron or Cuervo. Like, honestly, I feel like any tequila, as long as it's not too cheap. I'm that kind of person that really enjoys tequila shots and handles them pretty well.
Yeah, you got to have a few every now and then to get the fire going.
Everybody loves to have fucking lime and salt. Now, here's the thing. I like lime and salt, and sometimes I want to feel a little bit of a nice little taste to it, nice little kick. A little bit of tomato juice, like when you make a Bloody Mary. But, like, with the tequila and that lime, oh, my God, it just fucking cancels nice. I mean, I could literally feel like I could do that just based on the taste. But if I'm not doing tequila, then it's got to be Crown Apple chilled. Like, that's my go-to. Crown Apple chilled is so smooth, so tasty and chilled. Oh, man. And it's still got the whiskey burn. You know what I mean? But, fuck, when I was younger, I would just do shots of straight Crown. I would just do shots of straight whiskey. It didn't matter. I mean, back then. But now I have to have a higher quality. Otherwise, the head might ache the next day.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be nearly the same, too, once you get used to something or not used to something, and then you do it out of spite. It could definitely make you feel shitty.
Now, let me say this, too. People have asked me, because I typically do not get hangovers. I mean, the last time I've had a hangover is when I had vodka. I just don't do well with vodka overall. But I don't get hangovers because I also drink water a good amount through the day and throughout the night, and that keeps me hydrated. And I tend to eat something like from small to fucking large meal, right in the middle, like maybe an hour and a half beforehand. And, just let that shit settle. And just drink water while I'm drinking because, honestly, having, one kidney, you do have to – they told me, like, you have to have a glass of water for every non-alcoholic beverage or just anything other than water, basically. So, like, I take pride in that. And, like, it helps me be able to – and I also don't fucking drink stupid no more. You rarely see me get drunk ever. Like if I'm in a Bills game, it's a different story. But yeah. So okay, now we got your shots. Let me ask you now, because now personally, as me and you have history as friends, I've drank some really good beers with you, like some really, really good beers with you. And I know you're not really a beer drinker anymore, but like, give me like three best beers that, or like, what would you drink if you're gonna have beer?
Well, the main reason why I don't drink beer anymore is because mixing was terrible. I can't just stick to one drink. That's how I am. That's how I function. I like to go off in different directions. But two, it makes you fat. So that's why I stay away from it. I like to stay lean. Vodka is a good way to stay lean. Sugar-free Red Bull too. That's the key. Anyway, so if I'm going to name top 3 beers, let's go 3-1 here. My preference, 3. I'm going to keep it simple, just a Bud Light out of a bottle or like a Bud Light Platinum. I would say a Bud Light Platinum would probably be 3 for me. It's got a good alcohol content. Yeah, they're strong. You know, that's a good party starter.
So I've got a good story to talk about Bud Light Platinums after you name your last two.
Oh yeah, remember we named it after Zach Plath. We were calling him Plath Bumps.
Speaking of Zach's, this story is about a guy named Zach. Oh yeah,
there we go.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, give me your other 2.
So a Platinum, that would be number 3 for me. And then kick it up a notch. Number 2 would be a Samuel Adams.
I knew you were going to say Sam Adams. I just wondered, is it your typical Boston lager or what?
Something flavorful. It could be anything as long as it's good flavor. It could be anything in that family. Just something to kick back and relax and have a drink of that. That would be number 2. And then number 1.
Sam Adams Winter Lager is so good. It's like a citrus flavor. It is so
it's good. So that's number 2. And then number 1, because again, I'm a Florida boy for real, Corona. Corona with a lime in it, people. Let me tell you, on the water. Oh, man, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, especially on the beach. I mean, if I'm gonna have a cerveza, though, if I'm gonna have a cerveza, I want to have Modelo's. That must be a West Coast thing. You know what I mean? Living in Vegas for the years that I did, you know, you see a lot of the Hispanic community. They drink Modelo's. You know what I mean? And fucking, I definitely put down quite a few Modelo's. Doesn't matter if it's Cinco de Mayo or not. I'll get to the story about Bud Light Platinum here in a minute, but for me, it's got to go. Like, all right, so it's so tough because I do love beer, right? But I don't drink beer that much anymore. I will once in a while, and I will get these select things. So I would have had Carlsberg Pilsner. It's like from Denmark, I think, and it was really good on draft. But I had it out of bottles. It wasn't quite as good as I hoped it would be. But I had it at this Irish pub in Rochester. I think it was called Carol's. I actually reviewed their chicken wings. They were phenomenal. But they had Carlsberg on draft. That was so good. So refreshing. It was like drinking a little bit of like a Corona mixed with a Bats. And like,
wow, that sounds pretty decent.
A little bit more like heavy in a sense, but not really. It's crazy. But I'm going to go with 3. Budweiser in a bottle. No. I'm going to go, as much as I love Budweiser in a bottle, I'm going to go with, it's called Young Lion Pilsner, and I've had it on tap at the Creekside Manor or whatever. Creekside in
Creekside Manor.
I combined 2 things from Leroy. That's how you know where I'm at. But at the Creekside Inn, they had Young Lion Pilsner on draft, and it's pretty good out of cans too, the tall cans. At 2, I gotta go with Guinness, and it's because I can put down Guinness probably as much as any fucking Irishman over there. I mean, on St. Patrick's Day, I'm known for at least putting down 12 on top of the Irish car bombs and everything else. I mean, the 12 is not including all the other stuff.
Going to work.
Number 1 is always going to be Labatt's and Blue Light, both of those combined, because like I can drink them at any time. They're always it's always a good go-to. It's my go-to beer for the Bills. That's the only beer I drink at the Bills games, unless people offer me a free beer for other stuff. Like I've had the Pils Mafia or whatever. But yeah, I mean, Labatt's just my go-to. I can fucking pound them. Think my record, and I do not encourage this for anybody, and I'm not bragging about it, but to some people back in my day, this would have been something. The most I've ever put down before a game and after the game was I put down a full 30-pack before and after the game. And then I also had like 2 tall beers at the game too. So I probably put down close to like 36, 37 beers
My goodness.
that day. And they're all blue light, I think, even a combination of both. But I mean, I fucking love it. Ice cold, there's nothing like it. So that's my go-to beer. So Bud Light Platinum. Now, Sam, you haven't met Zach, but you know of Zach, obviously, via, gaming or whatever, and him being a part of the GameBook, whatever. But Zach is my little brother, and if he sees this, I'm not knocking you, kid. This is a story I will forever cherish because, like, I was actually pretty fucking proud of him. But it was Halloween 2014, and there was a party going on at my dad's and my stepmom's. And I think my dad had his best friend from Dunkirk there. There was a bunch of people there, and it was everybody drinking, having fun. And I'm like, I'm 20 years old at this point, so like I'm at the point where I'm allowed to drink at parties, whatever. And people smoked, whatever. So it's a good time. And at that time, I actually wasn't smoking weed. At this time, I had quit like 2 weeks prior to that, and I actually for 3 years. I didn't smoke for 3 years after that. Wow. But regardless, that's aside. Zach's drinking with me. He's allowed to drink with me, right? But we're getting bored because it's all their friends, and they're all fucking getting. Hold on, the connection's getting slow. But they're all getting kind of weird with the questions, the sloppiness, and me and Zach are kind of starting to get a little annoyed. So now Dominic, one of my other best friends, lived in Vegas at this time. And I hadn't seen him for like probably fucking 6 years at that point. And I'm like, yo, it's like, would you come get us? We like, if you guys are at a party or something. He's like, yeah. Him and his buddy Johnny, who I'm also good friends with too. Shout out to him. Came and picked us up and bring us to an actual party. Like people my age. And like, Zach says to me, he goes, now, like I'm gonna. He's trying to be cool in front of everybody. He goes, I'm gonna drink as much as you, and I'm gonna outdrink you tonight. And I looked at him and I go, are you sure? Like like those are some serious fucking words, Zach. And he had the most confidence ever, Sam. I'm telling you, he had the most confidence. And
nothing wrong with feeling yourself.
I'm like, okay. And now I didn't even know this yet, right? But I asked Dominic, what beers do you guys have? And he, named off a bunch of, like, they had craft beers and, like, Heinekens and Bud Lights and shit like that. But then he said, but what I'm drinking are Bud Light Platinums. So I said, all right, Zach, you want to drink Bud Light Platinums? He goes, yeah. And he's thinking it's just a Bud Light, basically. I'll be able to fucking do this with ease. But me, because of you, I've had experience with the Bud Light Platinums and Zach Plath. So I'm already fucking.
Oh, yeah.
So Zach drinks in me. And, dude, I'm talking, there was at least probably 32 fucking Bud Light Platinums. And I probably had 10. Zach drank at least fucking 10. Dude, he drank as many as I did. I was very, very shocked. He never got sick once. And he maintained his drunken stage very well. Like he was like fucking seasoned. I was actually very, very shocked. Okay. Now, we also still drink a little bit more as the night goes on. And I think I was having such a fun time that I didn't notice how he was kind of getting quieter as the time went on. And we get back to the house and he's just laughing as we're walking in. I remember that very, very, very vividly. And we go to sleep. Now, him and I shared a room at the time. No joke, like fucking stepbrothers. And it's ironic he is my stepbrother. But we're sharing a room, and I wake up at 4 a.m, and I just hear it in the bathroom right next to the fucking wall. Oh, yep. Yeah. I don't even need to fucking make the noises for you. I just hear it. And I start to laugh. I start to laugh very loudly, and he actually starts to laugh while he's throwing up because he was hoping like hell that he was going to throw up and me not catch a single sound of it, so he would be able to hold that over my head forever. But nope, I probably caught him before, like as he's heaving, as he was probably heaving. Probably sensors went off, and I woke up and said, "Oh, I caught you red-handed." But shout out to him. I was so shocked. He held it very, very long, and we got home at probably 1:30 in the morning. So that's a good 2.5 hours of fucking holding it back.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. But yeah, that's enough about alcohol. Let's get down to some NBA talk. As the Lakers are actually currently playing, and last I checked, they were getting their ass whooped.
Still
Of
are.
course, this is being recorded on 12:08 going into 12:09. This would be released, obviously, on 12:09 for you guys. We're talking a little bit about the Lakers and the trade deadline situation. Sam was talking a little bit about Damian Lillard, and I hadn't seen this video yet, so I'm going to give you the chance to kind of just talk about it and like what your expectations for what the Lakers could really do, and what do you think he would add to the team? Go ahead and give us the whole fucking rundown.
So so basically he went on live last night, Instagram Live, and LeBron went in there and entered, and he was just talking a lot of shit, just saying a lot of things. I'm not going to repeat it. You can go ahead and catch it. I'm sure it's all over Twitter, all over whatever. But LeBron was in there, and he basically said, hey, when are you going to make the move? When are you going to sign me? And you know how the NBA works. They love to catch guys on every little thing, and he was saying a lot of ridiculous stuff. I think he wants out of Portland. The fact that Portland has now gotten rid of a whole core twice of him being there for now his 10th NBA season, that's just disgusting. You look at the team they had in the 2012-2013 season, and even the season before that as his rookie year. I mean, they looked very poised to be something throughout the next 3 or 4 years. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink of water real quick.
Yeah, I mean...
But they looked very poised to do something, and then all of a sudden they dumped the fleet. They got rid of LA. They got rid of Batum. They got rid of Wesley Matthews, and they were all great contributors of the team. And then out of nowhere, they all just kind of disintegrated. And Dame still stayed. He stayed. He was hopeful that they were going to go ahead and build around him, and they started to. But it seemed like some of the pieces weren't really that well. Hassan Whiteside, I think, was a bad move. Just not a good fit. Just doesn't seem like he really fit with them ever. He didn't click, and they paid a lot of money for him. And then another piece that they put in there, or they've had was C.J. McCollum, and they just got rid of him. So if you're going to get rid of his boy, his main side guy, someone who he is friends with, I think that's just a sign that they are in a full rebuild mode. So I think that Portland should do the honors and dump him. And I think Russ going there could be a possibility. We saw Russ go to the Wizards kind of as a dump off, it's very possible.
Yeah, player that
I can see it going on.
Yeah.
So I see that happening. I see Damian Lillard moving there. I see something crazy happening tomorrow. But if not, it is what it is.
Like I was saying, it's going to take a lot to move Damian Lillard. And what I read, obviously, I was just talking about it. And C.J. McCollum was just traded today, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this must have come before. No, this came after the McCollum trade. The Portland Trailblazers current GM wants to rebuild immediately around Damian Lillard. Like he doesn't want to give him up is what his stance was. But obviously Damian Lillard, from what you're telling me, is a complete opposite stance. So
he does not want nothing to do with it.
I mean, and credit to him for being loyal to that franchise and to that city for as long as he has. It's tough because they've had a lot of, like you said, a lot of great pieces in place. They could just never seem to get over that hump. I mean, they had some success in the playoffs at times, but just nothing that would carry to a Western Conference Finals and then into the NBA Finals, which is, the kind of result you want with players like Damian Lillard. I think that the Lakers could somehow find a way to make it happen. I just think that the Blazers could probably get back a lot more from other teams. I don't know who exactly. I'd have to really think about it, but I'm not going to really get into that. I just think that it's going to be really tough, like I was mentioning earlier. It's going to be tough to play with a guy like LeBron James, his usage, and then you have Anthony Davis who has to get his shots and his looks and his opportunities and possessions. And, yeah, sure, you can get rid of Russ Westbrook or whatever, but he already doesn't fit in. And, sure, he can't shoot the ball well. And he doesn't play good enough defense, and he's just trying to shoot the ball too much. It's like, dude, play your game, what's been working, but he's not doing that. So, I mean, as much as you wish, and I wish that the Russell Westbrook experiments could have been better in LA, It just isn't, because it's hard to have a guy that wants to have a 30, 10, and 10 kind of game when LeBron can give you 30, 10, and 10 any night as well. And that's what his job is on any team that he plays on. Damian Lillard's a different player. I'm sure that it could work in a lot of ways just because of how great each one of those individual players and a healthy Anthony Davis, healthy LeBron James, and a healthy Damian Lillard. That's scary for any team. Fuck, almost scary just to go up against 3-on-5.
Oh yeah,
I could see it happening. LA obviously has that kind of star power, and I'm sure that it's a place that Damian Lillard would like to go, because you'll instantly contend for a championship. It's going to take a lot to make it happen. So I am curious to see how it works out in the coming days. When is the trade deadline?
I want to say it's sometime upcoming this week. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to guess. Yeah, I want to guess that it's in the next, I would say 2 days, maybe day.
Well, by the way, the Wolves are up 23 with 142 to go. So as long as they don't blow fucking 16 points, I'm good.
Very nice, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Or actually, sorry, 15 points.
Yeah, that's still
again, though, we'll see what happens. Something's got to happen. Damian he's not playing. Sure, it's because of injury, whatever. I'm sure a lot of it, too, is because he just doesn't want to play for them right now. And he does deserve better. I mean, Damian Lillard does deserve better. He's one of those kinds of players. I mean, I really had a lot of respect for him because it seemed like he wasn't going to try to force his way out. But ultimately, I think with the direction the franchise is heading, it's kind of like you can't blame him for it. So we'll see what happens. Be great if the Lakers could pull something off. I think they need shooting and defense, but
definitely need some shooting.
And I mean, like you said too, Damian Lillard can do that. So
he can.
Yeah. By the way, I hit also on the first of a 2-teamer, and the second one is looking okay. I just got to have UCLA bolster up. And this first part of bolster up is presented by the GameBook in partnership with SuperDraft Pro and in partnership with Caesars Entertainment. Of course, we're about to give you guys a DFS draft here and some free betting picks for what will now be today, February 9th, for action in the NBA as well as NCAA. We usually have hockey picks. I'm going to take a look at all that stuff and see what I can present for you guys. Having a solid day in the tournament overall, Sam. I talked to you about the membership that exists with SuperDraft Pro. And for a guy like me that lives in Maryland that can't mobile bet legally, I could go to retailers, but the nearest one's 40 minutes away, and I'm not about to drive 40 minutes away to play bets. When it's available, obviously it'll be a different story via the mobile betting, but it's cool because I can play, get in on the action, and have actual incentive to compete for something because they give out the rewards with Super Draft coins. Whoever finishes first in this tournament usually takes like $15K or $30K, depending on what your membership level's at. So I'm like right there. Now, when the Wolves hit this one, bolstered up, and if the fucking Bruins can keep this one going for me, bolstered up, and I'll give you a final update on that. Probably not by the end of this, but we'll see. Sam, let's see what you got for. Do you want to go into a DFS lineup?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. I can go ahead and pull it up.
And then I know you want to talk about some UFC as well. We'll get into that.
Definitely. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about tomorrow's basketball. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m., 6 games. Going to go ahead and do a Super 15, which is my favorite kind of game mode to do.
Bolster up mode.
Something that I'm pretty good at as well, for the most part. I've won well over 50% of my contests that I've entered in it, but I've been pretty conservative lately. Just focusing on other things, but we'll definitely go ahead and give you my best. But it seems like if I can go ahead and find a Super 15, there we go.
Oh, I hit a earlier, by the way. My fault.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I hit a 3-team parlay as well earlier. And
very nice.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I fucking covered a lot of ground today.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my Super 15 lineup for tomorrow. It's 6 games. So we'll go ahead and I'll read you off. First, with a $5 slot, we're going to go ahead and pick the chef, Steph Curry. Just because Curry, kind of hard not to pick him when he's in any game, just because of what he can give you in terms of the three-pointers, and he can really go off for assists too. He even provides a few rebounds and steals here and there.
He can grab steals. Yeah, he's a stat junkie.
He's a great all-around. So we're going to go ahead and pick him first with a $5, and that's our first of 5. Then we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to maybe dabble into some $3 ones. I really like Anthony Edwards at the $3 slot. That's another guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are playing tonight, by the way. They just covered. So I officially fucking bolstered the fuck up. That was a big straight bet. I put 1,000 super coins on it.
Beautiful.
By the way, Anthony Edwards, let me see how he played tonight. Give you a little insight for that before you make that pick. He did not play well tonight. 2 for 12 from the field, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 0 for 3 from 3.
Bad night.
You got to think tomorrow he's going to rebound.
Well, hopefully, but I'm going to stay away from him.
Now, the reason I brought that up is because I think that when players have, those off nights the night before, usually it contributes to a fucking bang back the next day.
Yeah, that very well could be it. But with Anthony Davis having all those hot games in a row, he was bound to cool down. But we're going to stay away from him, stay with Curry at 5, and then Anthony Edwards with $3. Then we're going to go ahead and do another $3. I really like Miles Bridges. I like him as the other $3 pick. He is really proven his worth this year. Looks like that he's going to probably stay around with the Hornets as long as he stays as consistent. Yeah, if he stays around as consistent as he is, he might go ahead and really make a name for himself. So that's my other $3 pick.
He's a popular card these days too.
He is. All around guy. So that's going to go ahead and be my other $3 pick. So we got $11 with $4 remaining. We got to pick 2 more. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a $2 and a $1. Or actually, I'm going to hit two $2. Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey right now is just doing some crazy, crazy things. He's another rookie that just goes off. He is playing with a team that really doesn't have anything at all in the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then my last $2 pick, Clay, the other Splash brother. I mean, you just never know how many minutes he's going to play. Some nights he just goes off and starts off with all of these threes in a row. I love picking both the Splash brothers, knowing that they're going to be playing some solid minutes. That's my Super 15 lineup. Oh, yeah. I know they're going to the Lakers. They're going to probably light them up because the Lakers are not playing well.
No. Here come the Lakers right now.
Oh, here come the Lakers.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're down 10. They were getting their asses handed to them. They're down 10. I know it's still down, but
Giannis had 31, 11, and 8 going into the fourth quarter, by the way.
You can't give up threes to Bobby Porter.
That's pretty crazy.
So, okay, now back to the DFS. Let me go ahead and pick something out here too. Also, too, I called a beautiful in-game bet for the Suns and the 76ers. The Suns were down 7, I think, maybe more. And I looked at it, I'm like, I didn't want to play nothing because I already had enough in that I didn't want to fucking even playing something small. What's the point? But I'm like, I wonder what the in-game money line is. And it was pretty solid. It was like plus 400, maybe plus 375, something like that. And so you put 100 on it, boom, that's a fucking – and the Suns come back to win by a fucking huge margin. Just crazy. I mean, I've been calling a lot of these straight picks. I've been doing round robins and shit like that. I'll give out picks here in a moment. I want to do some super draft as I await this Bruins game to fucking get through the second half. They have to bolster up, Sam. All right, so tomorrow I've actually got hockey as a free lineup, and I'm also going to play NBA as well in a paid lineup. But here we go. So I have to pick a champion, okay? I have to pick a champion, and it's so tough, right? Because hockey, dude, it could be the most what-the-fuck player, right?
I mean, yeah, you are going to exceed way more than hockey. Hockey, I know nothing about. But if it's football, basketball, and baseball, definitely ask me.
I'm going to go with the goalie as my fucking champion. This is going to be insane. This is insane.
Sounds like you're willing to risk it all.
I'm going to take a bit biscuit.
And Anthony is going to do something which we like to say in the Sammy Sports Cards world. Bolstered up and grooving.
Just pat it on, baby.
Bolstered up and
okay,
grooving.
So
you know, I really like that. I do.
Let's throw another goalie on here. Oh, see, here's the thing. This all depends on who's in the goal. So I won't give out my goalie. Okay, I'm just going to pick some utility players. I'm with Tyler Seguin as a 2.3 multiplier. He's a great young center, and Dallas can score some fucking goals.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to go with I'll go with Josie for Nashville as the defenseman. I'll also go with Jay Ben. And I'll pick one more. And it'll probably actually be a goalie because goalies tend to have a good amount of points. But I'm thinking about going with I'm going to take I'm going to take a goal. No, I can't take a goalie because this is one game. I don't want to take two goalies. So,
yeah, you better go ahead and mix it up in that department. Sounds like that's.
I'm going to go with Granlund, Michael Granlund. That's my free DFS lineup for Super Draft. Of course, this has been presented by this episode of the Film Room. Is presented by the GameBook in partnership with Super Draft Pro and in partnership with Caesars Entertainment. Right now, we're talking a little bit about DFS and sports betting. Did a couple of free lineups for you guys, as well as Sammy on a paid lineup. I'm going to take a look real quick at NBA in that champion mode, and I'm not going to hit champion mode, so I'm just going to stay away from it for tomorrow. I've already got hockey, and I'll live with that. So, Super Draft bets. Here we go. I'm going to play something for tomorrow, which is today. Well, today for you guys watching, my fault. I'll take a look at NBA for tomorrow. I'm liking the Cavaliers possibly against the spread and possibly the over at 217 right now. I'm also thinking about going with Toronto Raptors. Been playing a lot of basketball and they're on a win streak. I almost at 208. I almost like the under. Yeah, I think I like the under in that game. I wouldn't go because the Raptors might not win by that many points, but at the same time, you wonder why they're already that big of a favorite on the road. And I mean, Oklahoma City's played some solid games at times this year, so let's not count it. That's what makes me wonder why is it like that. So I'm staying away from that, and I'm just taking the total. I'll go under 208.
I like that.
Yeah, I think possibly the Hornets over the Bulls, but the Bulls are favored, and it's in Charlotte. What do you think there, Sam? It's a 1 point Chicago favorite, 1 point underdog Charlotte Hornets.
You got to pick Charlotte with the underdog there. They're more of a team that, yes, they're young, but man, when they catch fire, they can really put you to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we'll have Sam's pick there. We'll go Charlotte Hornets money line. It's minus 105, so it don't even pay that much. I mean, so that's kind of a good sign too.
Yeah.
I want to take a look at some college too as well, and then that's going to do it for the picks as well as the podcast episode. So for tomorrow, we've got games that start at 5. I'm a big fan of Cornell Big Red. I'm liking them at minus 15.5. Them big spreads are everything, but Cornell has been hammering bets for me. And if you don't like that, then I kind of like the over 157.5. Those high spreads, I know it's kind of scary, but believe me, it's high for a reason. That's why I'm going with it. And I've seen Cornell with the capabilities of putting up the points, as well as Columbia possibly being an Ivy League matchup. I kind of like Georgia Bulldogs plus 15.5 against Florida.
Oh, you know what? I like that too. You want to know why? Because a team that is a rival and usually is much better than the other tend to really flop. They tend to really flip-flop, go up by.
It's in Gainesville. It's at the University of Florida.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with whatever it's played. I don't see Florida's fan base being too much of a factor. I don't think they're really anything special this year.
I almost think maybe I take a look at the over-under there, and I think I go under 143.5.
Okay.
That's tough.
That is tough. I like the over, though. I do like the over.
I think I'm switching to my second instinct, and I'm going over 143.5.
I like the over, my friend. I really do. You spoke that into existence.
Seton Hall, Xavier, like this. That's crazy. I honestly think I like Notre Dame fighting Irish against the spread against Louisville minus 7.5. Louisville just got their asses handed to them by Syracuse. I mean, I know Syracuse ain't that great, but there's a hint Notre Dame can play basketball as well. ACC matchup. I kind of like them at home, minus 7.5. I also kind of like the under at 135.5 in that game. So those are going to be some of my picks right there. I'll tweet them out too after this video is placed. I'll tweet out some more up-to-date picks as well. But if you watch this video and you like what I was talking about, and what Sam's talking about, that's great. We gave out some DFS as well. We talked a little bit about the NBA situation and Damian Lillard as well as Sam. So we're going to go over to Sam for a little bit about UFC and, of course, what you have upcoming for Sammy Sports Cards. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. And that is the Sauce God, a.k.a. the bolstered up and grooving man, A-Bomb, Sauce God. Which, by the way, guys, please, if you haven't checked out the Sammy Sports Cards page – or the GameBook page, which covers the DFS and bills and everything in between, you really need to go take a look. We're really moving up in the world, guys. We want to please you. We want to entertain you. We like bringing you some good cards as well. Anthony just mentioned stuff about the cards. We have a lot of good stuff coming up here for our break on Saturday afternoon, Anthony. For all you nostalgic baseball fans out there, we have 3 2002 boxes here that are sitting right in front of me right now. Video that we just posted a couple hours ago. You can actually go ahead and check that out on the Sammy Sports Cards page, which is on Facebook, and also on Twitter at SlamandSammy55 and Anthony at the Sauce God. So, Anthony, these 2002 boxes in front of us, I just want to tell you a little bit of info about them. One of them is focused on mainly the Yankees, and I'm talking about pulling used game caps, New York's memorabilia cards, New York's finest, and short printed rookie cards.
No shit.
And there's 360 cards that come in that box, and Derek Jeter is on the front. So that automatically right there tells me, for all you Yankee fans out there, there is some serious heat that's going to come out of this. You have so many opportunities, guys, at just $5 a pack. $5 a pack that's going to be. And then we have these two other boxes, which are both carrying a lot of heat. I'm going to get into this one just real quick, Anthony. You're going to like this. Yankee Stadium relic cards is a possibility.
No shit.
1952 World Series hero autograph cards we look for. That's a potential. We got autograph cards that are normal and other exciting insert cards in here. You can also find randomly inserted cards and auto proofs of Hall of Famers. There's so much stuff you can pull out of that.
Yeah, opportunities are endless.
And that again is 36 packs. But that box right there, guys, that's $6 a pack. These boxes are one of a kind right here, the two to my left. I also have an opening day 2002 box. We got Barry Bonds on the front of that. For you guys that don't know, he's a Hall of Famer. He didn't get voted into the Hall of Fame. They make it a steroid issue. That guy has more talent than anyone. Yeah, so what if
Yeah,
he's big and strong? You need to see the
steroids do not
ball.
coach hand-eye coordination. They just
You
don't.
need to you need to see the ball. You need to turn your wrist over. You need to have a
You
smooth
have to know
swing.
how
You
to
need to
you have to
stay.
know how to attack the pitcher too.
That's right.
I
You
mean,
need to have a
it's
good mental
baseball is
game.
baseball like a guy like Derek Jeter. Okay, as much as I love Captain and Jeets, a guy like Derek Jeter was not really gifted athletically. Like he had moderate speed, he had moderate arm. He had heart, which you can't coach, and he was just a true baseball player at heart. But athletically, he wasn't some sort of freak. But he also knew how to play the game, knew how to attack. When he would approach any at bat, whether it was playoffs or regular season. And that's the same thing with Barry Bonds. And I've said it, and I'll say it again. Barry Bonds being walked with the bases loaded intentionally is something I've never seen for any other player, and you'll probably never ever see that kind of fucking respect again. And steroids don't do that. I mean, Barry Bonds has to put the ball in play, and he was already hitting fucking bombs before roids. So, and he never actually failed a drug test. So it's technically just speculation. And I mean, technically, as much as I respect him, David Ortiz got in, and he did technically fail a drug test. So, I mean, that's a subject for a different day. But, yeah, those boxes that Sam is talking about, by the way, are truly one of a kind. I go across other platforms on the Whatnot app, and quick shout out to Quad Cold on both Facebook and on the Whatnot app for Apex streams, as well as Pokemon breaks on the Whatnot app. I go across other people's breaks on Facebook as well, YouTube, whatever, even eBay. I see some of them. And yeah, there's great product, and there's immaculate boxes and stuff like that. Stuff that's going to cost a pretty penny for any buyer, and rightfully so, because the availability of product is limited. But what Sam has, and for the prices he's giving them out at, and the possibilities you can win out of it, is insane. Because these boxes are truly old, authentic, in still great condition, and it's just something that old, and the cards that come from back then. Baseball cards were very, very popular in that time, as well as the 90s, baseball cards specifically. I think more popular than football or basketball cards. I mean, when you think about sports cards, I think the first sport that comes to mind is baseball. So having that kind of opportunity for the prices he has, you guys do not want to miss that. It's going to be on YouTube and on Facebook on his page, as well as on the GameBook main page, and it will be on YouTube as well. And if you're not subscribed to us as well, make sure to do that. Check in with us. So, Sam, you've got tons of NBA product. We pulled the 2 Genesis cards we mentioned earlier. We pulled the Terry Porter autograph. I mean, just endless heat coming out of your boxes and your breaks. And I think that's really a testament to, like, this process that you're going through. And, like, I've seen it back before you ever did this on stream, and you were doing your personal collection unveiling via opening boxes live on the Facebook page. When me and you did the live, the opening, and with the mosaic box with the stained glass cards, I mean, that was insane.
Oh, yeah.
But then in the first few openings, we didn't really have that kind of heat pulled. Like, we were actually kind of like on the lower side of the heat spectrum at first. But then when we got through and we opened more, and then we started doing breaks, like, the heat was just fucking there. And it was there the last couple of breaks as well. So it does make me excited for Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you guys are there. The options for payment are, of course, with Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal. And there's the option of Cash Apping me if necessary. You have to pay the fee as well. But if you pay enough, I'll take care of the fee. But great deals all across the board, and tons of MLB and NBA product that I want to see opened. And, I've shared all that information. I've talked to some people in the card community, and it's insane the kind of stuff that we pulled in, back-to-back streams, and just the odds of that out of that many packs, from wherever you got them is insane. So that's the kind of opportunities you guys have here. Their opportunities are endless. I've said it, and I'll say it 1,000 times, man. You can bolster up in Sammy Sports Cards. So
always bolstering up here, baby.
So Sam, talk a little bit. You said there's some UFC going on this weekend. What's going on?
Yeah, guys. So UFC, it's UFC 271. We have a nice middleweight belt rematch between Adesanya and Whitaker. Adesanya is undefeated in the middleweight division. He tried one light heavyweight fight about 4 or 5 months back. It didn't go well for him, but that was just a test. But when it comes to the middleweight division, he is goated. The first time he fought Whitaker was actually to get the belt from him, and he TKO'd him. He really, really delivered some nasty shots to him, made him look silly, and in his home country, nonetheless. He really put it to him. This time, however, they have a lot of time in between from the last time they fought a couple of years back, about 2.5 years ago, since that fight was taking place. So I'm sure that they've done a lot of homework, and I'm sure Whitaker is going to coming a little bit more ready, not hanging his chin out there as much. But I love Adesanya. I'm a big fan of him. And I think he's going to put it to him. I'm not worried about that at all. So that's going to be on Saturday night. That's why we're bringing the breaks to you guys on Saturday afternoon. Little known fact, if you don't know, Ashton, my girlfriend who assists me with everything here, shout out to her for being so awesome and being a part of this movement. She is a big help here, and she does a lot for us, guys. So it's not only me and Anthony that are a part of this. There is a lot of other people in the background. You might not see them.
12 Gauge. Shout out to Timmy.
And shout out to Gage as well. Timmy, everyone who supports
Drew,
us.
by the way, too. He's been stopping in a lot lately. And shout out to Craig, of course. Yeah, dude. And by the way, too, another quick shout out since we're doing shout outs to Greg Rawlings and Josh Wright of We Don't Know Sports, one of the best sports and humor pages on Facebook. And they have subgroups for football, basketball, hockey, and baseball, including the baseball group for America's pastime lovers that has professional, current, and former players, including Kurt Schilling, David Ortiz. I forget. There's a guy that hit 50 home runs in a season in there, too. It's crazy. Check them out. They show tons of support. They let us put our breaks on their pages. So, yeah, of course, those guys. So, yeah, Sam, back over to UFC.
All right, yeah. So, guys, for the UFC, besides the main fight, there's a lot of other good fights, as always. I haven't really looked at the card, but let me just get into saying that the UFC is growing more and more. We're absolutely huge fans here of it. We live for it, and we've actually been collecting a lot of UFC cards, too. And that's something that we wanted to really ask you guys. Do you want to see other cards pulled? When football is going to be coming in the next few weeks, it is a process, as you know, for ordering stuff and getting product in, but we're going to have football here soon. Along with that, though, we would love to break some UFC. If there's any fans out there, you know where to find us. We would love to do a UFC break of some sort, or a mixed break with that in between, and even a possible pull pile there too. We could do a UFC pull pile. We could include that in the pile that we already have, which we do football, basketball, baseball, the Deion Sanders pile, which took a significant hit.
The Adam Williams pile.
Holy moly. He went ahead and scored himself, I think, 5 Deion cards out of a 10 pull.
I think 7.
It was either 5 or 6, because I counted today and packaged it and everything, but I just couldn't believe counting. I was like, my goodness, This man really did hit some prime cards, which are all vintage cards, by the way. All cards from 89 to 94. They're all, no duplicate prints or nothing. Those are all from, his prime day, prime in his prime.
Speaking of, I'm wondering if Craig got that fucking Anthony Edwards rookie card. I mean, the investment, I'm not going to get into it on here, but the investment that comes with a card like that is crazy. But the value of it is through the roof right now. I mean, just immediate value. If you want to sit on it for a while, you could really take home some fucking bread. And, guys like me collect not necessarily to flip cards. I like to have things of value. I like to have my Josh Allen cards, my Tre'Davious White, my Ken Griffey, because they're all favorite players of mine. So just having something that's kind of like a treasure of theirs is cool to me. And, of course, I mean, what Sam does is he's a collector as well, but he also presents opportunities for sales to other potential collectors, which is awesome. But Craig is a true collector as well, but he's in the sports market, but he's in the Pokemon market. But man, I really hope he snags that card. I think he can get it at a pretty penny. And fucking that's an opportunity to bolster up. So yeah, Sam, it's been crazy. The cards that we've pulled on the stream that we've broken for Chris, Edwin, myself, Adam. everybody, really, you know what I mean? That we haven't
Everybody.
pulled for nobody. We pulled something for everybody, so I'm looking forward to that. We gave out some betting props for you guys, some free picks, overs, unders, spreads, and also gave out some free DFS lineups via hockey and NBA via the Super Draft app. You do not have to have the Super Draft Pro membership. You can actually sign up with mine or Sam's link to get signed up for $20 free of play on the Super Draft. So, Sam, that's going to do it for me, brother. I have my lineups placed. I am going to check one more time on this UCLA game. They're currently up 8, which is very, very spooky. I'm up 1.5 points. No,
oh boy.
I'm up 0.5 point. Ooh, 1:17 to go. Please start fouling and missing shots.
Well, we can only hope for the best, my friend. Don't hold your breath.
All right, man. That's going to do it for all of us. Enjoy this show. Make sure to like and share. Make sure to follow us on Twitter as well at A-Bomb Sauce God, at T-GameBook, and at Slam and Sammy55. And turn on those notifications on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter so you don't miss any of the content, whether it's DFS, whether it's betting, whether it's sports cards, whether it's breaks, whether it's Bills coverage, whether it's sports coverage in general, whether it's chicken wing reviews. We have it all. And that's the kind of content we have here at the GameBook. Your premium source for sports news, Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens coverage, sports betting and DFS picks, as well as various trading cards and breaks and much, much more. Quick shout out to 12 Gauge. Quick shout out to Clyde. Quick shout out to Sam's mom, by the way, who's been very active. Quick shout out to my mom.
And my dad as well.
And Sammy Pop. Quick shout out to T. Taylor. Quick shout out to Drew. Everybody. Gino. For popping in and just saying stuff about beef, which is hilarious. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day. Enjoy these free picks and enjoy the rest of the content. God bless.